Welcome everybody to this edition of Attention Talk Video. With us today in our virtual studio is Dr. David Now, clinical neuropsychologist, and our topic today, how long did that take exactly? Dr. Now, welcome to the show.
Thank you. Good to be here.
The title of the show is How Long Did That Take You Exactly, but this is really a data collection show. Can you tell us about that?
You know, information is power. And what we're going to talk about in this quick video is how to use information about how long did that take you exactly to give you more control over time and goal management.
Mm-hmm. And you know, one of my favorite things about those with ADD, there's kind of now and not now, and I think that by collecting this data gives you a little bit of idea of there's a little bit more than just those two kinds of times.
Right.
And I know there's a story that you tell me that I really kind of enjoy about a woman being late to your office. Can you share that with our viewers?
So I had an appointment, a first session with a client. I hadn't met her before, and she showed up 45 minutes late for the appointment. And so she opens the door and she comes in with sort of a huff and a jacket and a bag, and she puts things down, and you know that mindset when you're running late. She says, "Oh, I'm sorry I'm late. The elevators here in the hospital are so slow." Yeah, well, you're laughing because, you know, there are 2 floors here in the hospital. My office is on the second floor, and the idea that this adult, that she's a parent, she has a driver's license, she works, the fact that she moves through her world thinking that she's 45 minutes late because of the elevator means that she doesn't have maximum access to how exactly she's doing things. And if she knew how long it actually takes her to get ready and get out the house, that's information she could use to be on time when it's important to her. Here's the thing. If she wants to show up late for my appointment, who cares? I'm flexible. But what if she's showing up late for her life? And by the way, as I got to know her, I found out that, in fact, she was showing up late. Not just for this one appointment with me, but this was a pattern.
Yep.
And you know, once we agreed that we had a therapeutic relationship and I had rapport established with her and I could challenge her, I could say, you know, you're not 45 minutes late because of the elevator. Let's talk about how, you know, how exactly you got here 45 minutes late. And the place to start with that is just to, with curiosity, with non-judgment, collect data about how long it takes you to get ready in the morning, how long it takes you to do your workout, how long it takes you to drive across town at 8 in the morning or 10 in the morning. That's all information that you can use if and when you want to be somewhere at a specific time.
You know, the story that you just told is kind of cracks me up because there are so many people out there like that. I mean, the elevator maybe is slow in a hospital, maybe delayed you by 2 minutes, but not 45 minutes.
Right.
And it's a little bit of a story that you're kind of telling yourself. And the notion of actually kind of collecting data and like knowing what your morning routine is, knowing how long it takes you to get to work, just by having that data as a coach, one of the things that we like to do is teach people just to kind of pause and notice kind of what's going on. And if you time these things out, just by having that data sometimes, you can pause. You know, you're starting to schedule appointments. A lot of times people will like, okay, I got this appointment, it take me, you know, this long to get there, but they don't always know how long it takes them to get out of the house in order to do that. And the discounts and that types of collecting the data sometimes brings a pretty good awareness. And with that awareness, sometimes, at least on our side, at least the coaching side, people will change their behavior just through the collection of that data.
Yep. So the reason I think that you and I can laugh at this, Jeff, is that like any human being, we've seen this in our own lives. I mean, I've showed up late, and I've been tempted to tell a story. Oh, I'm late because of the traffic. Well, if you've lived here for 2 weeks, you're not late because of the traffic. So let's say that your plan is to leave work, get to the gym, and then meet friends for a 7:30 movie. You have to know how long it takes to get to the gym, and how long it takes to get in your workout plus the shower, and then how long it takes to drive to the theater. If you are not accurately estimating any of those time frames, you could be the person that shows up 20 minutes late for the movie, or worse, the person who has to skip the gym because you didn't sort of calculate all those numbers just right.
Yep. It's funny. I'm going to give you an example of that in action at our own home. In terms of data, every once in a while my wife will say, well, let's put a movie on tonight for the kids. And, you know, I'm like, well, okay, so they need to be in bed by 10 o'clock, right? And we're talking about a 2-hour movie. So we need to start the movie before 8 o'clock in order for them to get done and get to bed. So we need to start at 7:45. We still have to get dinner together. We still have to clean some stuff up, and it's 7:15. Not going to happen just because you get an idea, you start to work those things backwards, and that data, just that collection brings it real. And it's really pretty powerful stuff.
Now, there are some simple tools and interesting tools that you can use to collect data. The most simple tool is just a stopwatch. Like this little stopwatch I'm holding here. It's a cheapy Timex. Just start it and drop it in your pocket, and then stop it when you're at the end of your task, and then take note of how long that took you. Also, if you have a smartphone, you've got a native timer in your phone. There's also some interesting smartphone applications for Android or iPhone. One of them that I like for Android is called Sinsel, S-I-N-S-L.
Okay.
And there's another one for Android called Timers for Me. And if you know, folks watching the video want to put some comments about iPhone applications that they like that do the same thing. So basically, Sinsel and Timers for Me are for the purpose of timing. They're actually created for folks, for adults and teenagers with ADHD, for just what we're talking about, gathering information about various tasks. You can label the tasks. If you want to be really scientific, you might actually time yourself doing this one task 3 different times just to look at the variability. But there are folks who routinely show up and punch in 6 minutes late for work. And the fact that they're 6 minutes late means that they've got a real specific pattern, and it may be that they think it takes them 29 minutes to finish their morning routine and drive across town, when in fact it takes them 35 minutes. And once they know it takes them 35 minutes, they will never again be able to tell themselves with a straight face, I can do this in 29 minutes. Once you know it takes 35, then that's, again, and that's, none of this is about, you know, being on time for Jeff or David, or none of this is about sort of the cultural mania we have about being on time and cramming a bunch of things in. This is about choice, giving people more choice about showing up on time and feeling relaxed, because there's a lot of stress that's associated with missing your plane, being late for a meeting, or having people view you as somebody who can't get it together and get there on time. That's not an okay feeling for
Absolutely, absolutely. And you know, we did a show on Attention Talk Radio one time. We were talking about, you know, how to determine what's important to you. And it's interesting because if you're going to get what's important to you, having a sense of time and collecting this data to be able to manage it really makes a lot of sense. And I too, I'm showing up. I got my cheap Ironman Timex watch that I use all the time to time things. But also one of the things that I do is I have a timer set on it. And it's interesting, as I always said, it's 7 minutes and 30 seconds, because like when I cook, I'll put it on, it's got to be 4 times before I pull the french fries out of the oven after 30 minutes or whatever. And there are some times where I'll turn this thing on. I'm not using it as a stopwatch, but I'm using it as it counts down those seconds, and I can kind of get a good sense of time and things that I'm doing. And it's just a different way of going about tracking the time, as you said. And you know, it might not work for everybody, but it's something that works for me. And it's simple as just a regular watch that you kind of carry around and kind of collect the data.
And what's fun about this, or a way of making it fun, is to estimate, you know, in advance. How long do I think it'll take to put dinner together for my family? And so say, okay, I think it'll take 25 minutes. And then time it and see how close you were. Sometimes you'll be right on the money, and sometimes it's remarkable how off you'll be. For example, when I have to put together a PowerPoint slide presentation, I usually, you know, this will take me 6 hours, which is a lot of time. And then I time myself, and it might take me 12 or 15 hours, which if you're planning for 6 and it takes you 12, you're really, really off. So it's a fun way of just seeing how accurate you are. And again, the spirit of this should be fun, and it should be about giving us more choice to be on time when it's important to us.
Absolutely. And you know, I'm going to share one story too. Everybody out there, think about a time when you're going to have to send an email to somebody, and think about how when you're trying to word it, you're kind of trying, you're concerned about how they're going to receive it and take it, so you're trying to word it in the right way. Predict your time and then do the email, and I think you might be surprised. I know for one, that usually takes me 3 or 4 times as long as I think it should.
Wow, that's
it's consistent. It's consistent because what I'll do is I'll think of it, I'll start writing and think of it from a certain perspective, but I go, well, they're going to take that wrong, so I keep changing that around, and that process takes a while. And it was interesting to me when I did this exercise for myself on that particular thing. Again, there are emails where I need the person to receive it or interpret it the right way, and I know for me it was like eye-opening experience, 3 or 4 times longer than I thought it should. So just a little tip out there. Dr. Now, for those who want to get in touch with you or learn more about you, the best place to go is your website, I presume. Is that correct?
Yep. Just come visit me at drnowell.com. It's D as in David, R as in race car, N as in Nancy, OWELL.com. Or if you're on Twitter, just follow me at David Nowell.
And you also have a Facebook page too, right?
Yep, David Nowell Seminars on Facebook.
David Nowell Seminars. So with that, David, thank you very much for coming on the show. This has been very enlightening, and
Yeah.
I hope everybody out there enjoys it. So get your stopwatches out there and go collect some data and see how long it takes you. Take care, everybody.
Got mine.